Clinical hypnotherapist Melanie McCool here, and we are living in incredibly uncertain times, and you may find it difficult to cope with. You may be dealing with levels of worry and anxiety, struggling to keep those anxious thoughts in check, and you may be really uncertain about the future, as many are. There's never been a time in history when all of the human race was dealing with this level of uncertainty. And the human brain over millennia has developed an aversion to this condition, this uncertainty. It's actually a carryover from our inherent fight or flight reaction to a threat. In our constant, quest for certainty in our lives, we're wired to catastrophize, to view a given situation as worse than it actually is, to speak about it and imagine it as much worse than it is. And this is the worry cycle, right? Which can in turn lead to anxiety. And it's my goal that you will make it through this to thrive, to be better than you were going in, not having succumbed to the stress of uncertainty. So for those of us who have never experienced threats that have such an enormous impact on our everyday lives, this can be completely without precedent. You have no idea how to handle this type of stress. And some of you may already deal with low-level anxiety and might have found that your symptoms have totally ramped up recently, right? Or others may feel this new physical stress in their body, these psychological strains for the very first time. And it's all due to uncertainty. See, when we go into that worry, which is a natural place for the adult mind to go, and when we're looking for solutions, right? And when you are going into solution-oriented thinking, and there's no solution to the perceived threat, you have absolutely no control over it. The lack of answers is what causes this high level of stress. You may be thinking to yourself, I have no idea what's going to happen. What's in the future for us? Will my finances be okay? Will I live? Right? And this can lead to feelings of frustration, anger, even aggression, right? And without an outlet for it, these can have repercussions that go far beyond being, cooped up in your home waiting this thing out. But you're watching this, and I will tell you that you're being aware that this uncertainty threat is actually why you're experiencing stress is really a superpower for you, because you can do things to help yourself and your loved ones to get through this stronger. Now, first of all, what I would advise you to do is to be aware of the worry story that you might be telling yourself. Okay, so this is the imagined scenarios, all the what ifs that haven't even happened yet, right? And try to distance yourself from it. Okay, so be aware of it, see it, know that your mind doesn't know the difference between real life and your imagination, and it's going to create all the hormones of stress as if that, that scary threat is actually right here with you. So distance yourself from it. Take some long, slow, deep breaths, thinking the word relax, and recognize that you're a human and you have the ability to direct your mind, right? And you direct your mind towards reflecting on reality realistically. You might look around yourself and think, what's not wrong? Oh, actually, right now in my immediate environment, I'm probably pretty much okay. So it would be more healthy for me to maintain this sense of calm, peace, so that I can conserve my energy in case things aren't okay, right? So essentially rising above this fight or flight response that your body wants to give to an imaginary threat that's literally all in your mind. And here's the thing. We can only control so much, right? And to worry about the things that we cannot control is going to throw us into fight or flight, right? So accept this uncertainty as a given, as a normal, and allow yourself to stop the struggle against it. Now, I've said we're inconsolable, right? There's nothing that's going to actually stop this right now. So if you accept that and stop the struggle against it, then you may stop the consoling or trying to console yourself with unhealthy behaviors that are designed to numb you out. Okay, so those could be things like, addictive things, whether it's, food or something on the internet, or even procrastination, things that you do to procrastinate it from doing things that are useful. These are all behaviors that are essentially trying to numb you out. But if you recognize it's because, well, these are uncertain times and you have a human mind that you can direct, then you have a superpower, right? So what I would advise is that you schedule a worry window. Okay, so this is a time in the day where you can allow any negative thoughts, feelings, anything that's coming up for you to come up. And that way, in this time, this window, you can get it all out, and that frees up the rest of your day, right? And for the rest of the day, you just banish those intrusive thoughts, banish those worry stories. They have no place in your life. Because, to some degree, it is natural to worry. It's how our brain actually handles problems or potential problems. But it really stops being useful if we're stuck in this cycle of negative thoughts about things that are out of our control. So instead, we should focus on the things that are within our control and how we choose to respond to them. And, it's interesting the way that some people will try to control their environment, right? Things that they feel are out of their control. And one of the ways that people do that is by panic buying goods, right? Such as all the hand sanitizer and toilet paper in the world. Right? And essentially this is due to an overload of this fight or flight response, right? It's hardwired into our DNA, right? And it's being further fueled by all of the images of empty shelves and, the fact that there's no toilet paper to be had for the next 100 years, right? That's in the media and social media. And so this is an exaggerated natural reaction, right? So we think we're fighting for our survival, which is kind of funny considering what it is. But it's like, these things like toilet paper, they suddenly take on this greater significance than usual, than normal possession, right? So just having toilet paper seems to calm our fears, right? And that is, until the next bout of fear takes hold. And then there's some other essential item that you feel that you just must have, right? Just recognizing that this, the panic buying, the hoarding, the fear, this is all due to uncertainty. It is a natural response in human, but that you also have ways of mitigating this response. And, I've spent years helping people cope with anxiety, and it doesn't matter, what the initial trigger of the condition is. The ways to help anxiety successfully are the same. So I'd encourage anyone who's feeling anxious or, whether you're directly impacted by this or just worried about it, right? I would invite you to download the anxiety release session that I have on my website. It's really taking just 15 minutes per day to focus on yourself, right? To take that time for yourself to breathe, to release unwanted feelings, thoughts, bring yourself to a place of peace and calm, right? Doing that rather than, plugging into the next update, the next piece of news, it can really help you to regain a sense of balance and focus. So I do recommend you get that recording. I would also advise you to do things that are going to, raise your happiness. your mood, raise your mood, because the only way that you're going to break out of the cycle of fight or flight, this nervous system going haywire, is to tell your body that you're safe, that everything's okay. And you do that by doing, well, kind of normal things. And or overloading your system with the right neurotransmitters like endorphins and oxytocin, right? These things that make you feel good, make your body knows that you're safe, right? So I do recommend that you do something like hypnosis or engage in meditation, do some kind of achievement-oriented activity. You know, I don't care if it's something like finishing a puzzle, you know, starting and finishing something, being on purpose. it gives a good feedback loop in the mind. Not only that, but it keeps you distracted from the worry story, hopefully. Or, of course, if you're in business, then get some work done, ditch procrastination, and get something done. So at the end of the day, you can make a check mark and say, you know what? I'm on purpose. I'm feeling good. I've got this under control, right? And of course, do something pleasant or fun. I mean, that goes without saying. Some humor therapy, you know, take some delight in something. You know, do something that you always told yourself you didn't have time for because you've got time. Right? So do all those things. And exercise. Get your exercise in. And it's going to be at a different level for all of us. But whatever it is that you're doing, just know this. It is incredibly worth it to get those endorphins pumping through your body, through your mind. And if you can do it outside in the sunshine, even better, because you're leveraging so many things that are good for your health and for your mental health. Now, this is this time, right? It could have so many repercussions that are far beyond the virus. It has the potential to impact mental health and well-being as people, you know, try to manage this increase in stress. And if I can help to ease that stress in any way at all, I feel that I absolutely must do. So you can visit my site, my website, and you can get your anxiety release download now. Take that time for yourself, and I sure hope it helps. I'm Melanie McCool. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and if I can help you through this time, or if you know somebody that I could, I invite you to get the anxiety release download, but also book a call. I look forward to talking with you about how hypnosis can help you to bring your life around to the way that you want it to be.